everything is fine in the Bay Area. Before the All-Star break, Kerr called out the team's focus, but now he says that might have actually helped them. He added, in basketball, you have to sort of lose yourself in the game. I don't feel like we've done that enough. We've had too many nights where we've gone through the motions, and yet I understand it, and I'm very confident we've gotten through the woods a little bit and are primed to really take off. Shannon, do you agree?
They're going to be fine. Steve, you let me coach? Yeah, you let Andre Iguodala coach. Let me get somebody against the Suns. Skip, they're going to be fine. They got 10 games against the Suns, the Hawks, the Kings, the Nets, and the Knicks. Does that strike you? Now, they only have 24 games left, and they got 10 against those teams. They're, even if at the current pace, they're on pace to win 62 games. Think about that. This is a long season. They go 67-15, 73-9, 67-15. People like 60 games is something to sneeze at. Do they realize how hard it is to consistently win 60 games in the NBA, Skip? Don't worry about them, because when you got 2 of the 5 best players in the NBA, what does it appear? You still got Klay Thompson. You still got Draymond, the Army knife, so he's going to do what he does. But Steph and Durant haven't had those games where they both go off together. We've seen Steph go for 48 against the Celtics and win. We see KD go for 50 when they lost to Portland a couple of days before the All-Star game. Yep. But Skip, you know, if 2 or 3 of those guys go off in a given night, you're not beating them. Ain't nothing to worry about. Look, I get it. You know, it's some fodder, and Houston's playing unbelievable. The offensive efficiency is the greatest we've ever seen. Home court would mean more to Houston than it would to this team, but they're the favorite. They should be. They got, look, if they didn't have that 7-foot guy, all bets would be off.
You mean the best player on the planet?
Stop it, Skip.
Well, is he or is he not? One day he is, one
he is not.
For the sake of this argument, you got to make him the best player on the planet. That 7-foot guy.
No. He's a different animal, because he's the guy that can go. When the game slows down and everybody's locked up, he can say, "Hey."
So you're saying when he's at his best, he's better than LeBron at his best? No, I think you just said that. I believe you just said that, and now you're trying to walk.
Why you do that, Skip? Why you try to parse my words and try to interject something that I did not try to put in there?
I'm trying to hold your feet to the fire. You just stepped in.
LeBron James is the best player in the NBA.
Okay.
The Golden State Warriors have the best team in the NBA.
So are you now trying to take some pressure off LeBron? Because most people now think LeBron, with his new team, has a pretty good shot against, if it is Golden State, in the finals. Because you're now trying to say Golden State's still the prohibitive favorite, and they're still Golden State.
LeBron James with new kids on the block is the favorite coming out the East.
Okay. So how about him in the finals?
We go, Skip, that's a ways away.
No, it isn't. It's now.
Hold on, time out.
What do you see? What do your eyes tell you?
How did we get to talking about LeBron? I thought we were talking about the Warriors.
It's always about LeBron.
Why you do that?
Because you are LeShannon.
No, I'm very objective.
You sleep in his, or you sleep on his sheets, right? Huh? Yeah. Goat? Better than Jordan, right? Well, what case did you make yesterday that if LeBron does beat this Golden State team, then he's better than Jordan, right?
I said it.
And we're going to discuss that again later in this show. But to me, I'm going to be objective about this. And the truth is, this year's Golden State is not last year's Golden State. I don't care what you say about what's coming up on the schedule. I'm going on my eye test off the first, it's a little more than half of the season.
So you be willing to put something down that a team could beat them 4 times in 2 weeks?
Sure. I would. I'm not seeing the same Golden State. And I know Steve Kerr talked, maybe it was the pre-All-Star break doldrums they were in, but do you remember when he said about 2 weeks ago, we are mentally fried?
Yeah.
I think they have been mentally fried. I think they have lost some edge from last year, and they've lost a whole lot of watch this momentum and motivation. Because you know what the weird thing about last year was? They acquired Kevin Durant, and all of a sudden everybody said that's unfair, and everybody condemned Kevin Durant for leaving Russell Westbrook and joining forces with 3 stars in Golden State, right? And what happened? The prohibitive favorites started thinking of themselves as underdogs. They started thinking themselves as if they had a chip on their shoulder, right?
Yeah.
Didn't they play angry all year because they were saying, watch this, watch what we can do with Kevin? I thought they were going to at least take 1 year to figure it out.
No.
Nope, they didn't take any time to figure. They figured it out like that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And Kevin Durant rose above LeBron James with the money on the table in the NBA. Well, he just did. Was he not the? Was he the MVP? Yes, he was. Did he shoot the shot of shots right in
He was
LeBron's
the
face?
MVP.
Yes, he did.
He won the MVP because they won. You do realize LeBron averaged a triple-dub?
Who took over that turning point game? What was it, game 3, right?
You do remember
In
that.
LeBron's palace.
Hold on. You do remember, like, the Cavs were up, and LeBron went to the bench for 2 minutes, and they gave up a 14-point lead. It was 2 when he came back in the ball game.
Maybe he should have played all 48. He
Stop
usually
it, Skip
does.
Bayless.
Well, he did it all year. He played most minutes in the NBA. Why take 2 minutes off?
Because, you know what, Skip? Sometimes you just unbelievable.
Well, no, I'm not. I'm just telling you the truth about this team. As Steve Kerr said before the break, it's human nature that we don't have quite the same drive we had a year ago. They won, and now you have a Kevin Durant and a Steph Curry who are in a great place to be entrepreneurs off the court. They're in Silicon Valley. Am I right about this?
But
do they not have a whole lot of outside interest?
Yeah.
You read what Kevin's getting involved in, and I say, God bless you.
Yeah.
He's investing in all kinds of Silicon Valley, tech investments,
Well,
right?
I mean, you got that kind of money. I'd invest too.
Okay.
I'm invested in me. That's a little bit of cheese I got, George. You know, a little. I got that paper like Kevin. But Skip, you
By
need
the way, you lost $1 billion yesterday, so now you only have $2 billion left.
to put it
right?
on running cap. Skip, they still have 2 of the best players, 2 of the 5 best players in the NBA.
Okay.
2 of the
But
5.
You know what's interesting about this? If you really study what they've done, so if we go on PER, which is the equivalent of the quarterback QBR, but
Yeah.
player efficiency rating, it's a pretty accurate stat. It tells you pretty much about your impact on the game. So Steph right now is 5th in the NBA, and Kevin Durant is 6th.
Okay.
Which is very good, but it's not like they're the 2 best players.
But they're
right?
on the same team.
Okay, they're on the same team, but they have 2 other quote-unquote stars on the team. Draymond is right now 99th at PER. That's not very good.
Right.
And Klay Thompson is 101 in PER. So their impact is not nearly what the other 2's impact has been. And the other 2 are not like the 2 most dominant players. I'm just telling you, they're not quite what they were last year. So guess what?
What?
Guess who leads by far in ejections so far this year?
Draymond.
Golden State. Well, it's just Golden State. They've
Yeah.
been ejected 9 times thanks to Draymond and Kevin Durant.
Correct.
For the most part. The next 2 teams are tied with 4 ejections, Memphis and New Orleans. So it's 9-4. That shows you this team isn't quite right. This team's always at odds with the referees. It's always their fault. They're looking for somebody else to blame except for themselves. Do you realize this team is 3rd in the NBA right now in turnovers?
Yeah.
Does that impress you?
That's very uncharacteristic
it's-
because they normally do a very good job of taking care of the basketball, but they normally create turnovers. Kevin Durant does a great job of blocking shots from the weak side. But Skip, you talk about their 5th and 6th in PR. What other team can say they got
Okay, I got it, but they're both down a little bit from what they can be.
Yeah.
They're not having the kind of years they had last year.
Oh, they're not, and they're still on pace to get 62.
Okay,
I mean, what you want them to win? 80?
Okay,
You want them to go 80 and 2?
Check this. The other thing that people underestimate about this team, the years it broke through and won the championships, the first time around against
Yeah.
Cleveland and then last year against Cleveland. They were #1 in defensive efficiency the first year, and last year they were a little tick behind the Spurs in
Right.
defensive efficiency, so they were like 1A.
Yeah.
Right now they're 5th. And you say, that's not that bad. It's a pretty dramatic drop from first
Where
to 5th.
Bron at? Where Bron in player efficiency?
I don't know.
He should be #1.
I don't know. He's the best player on the planet.
And you know this.
So you got this,
Hey, you
right?
know this.
I'm showing you I'm showing you vulnerability in Golden State this year.
Skip.
They're not the
If you
same
don't
as
mi-
they were.
I mean, okay, let's just say for the sake of argument, LeBron is #3. Does he have anybody else on his roster? You talk about Draymond is 99th and Klay is 101. There's nobody else on the Cavs roster that's in the top 100.
Yeah, but he's the best player on the planet.
Skip.
And you're making a case already again that he's back in the MVP race, right?
He never left it.
Okay.
He was always running.
So wait, he went 19 straight games with the worst plus minus in all of basketball of
Yes.
518.
Yeah.
518 players, and he went almost a quarter of the season with the worst
Did
plus
they- did they
minus,
stop running?
and he's still the MVP?
I didn't say that's not what I said, Skip.
You said he never left.
He never left the race.
Am I parsing words or just repeating?
It
what
was
you
an
just
ultra.
said?
It was an ultra marathon.
Oh.
You know how the ultra marathon is 100+ miles. Sometimes
I
they
only
run the
know.
Gobi.
I only know regular marathons.
Ultra, like 70 plus,
Okay.
100,
So he took
125.
some time off
So no,
from
in other
the-
words, he kept running. Skip, you need to see.
He went Rosie Ruiz and took a little side.
Joy, you see what Skip? You see what Joy? You see what Skip does, Joy?
Yeah.
Now, LeBron
backs
is
you into corners.
LeBron is the best player. You know, he's the best player. Well, Michael Jordan was the best player when the Big Three Celtics was splitting his wig. Oh, he needed some help. He was the best player. Why couldn't he get past the Big Three?
In his early days when he was a baby in the league, and they were loaded with Hall of Famers.
And Larry Bird said that's what we do to babies. We tear their tail up when they talk back. God. And then the bad boy Pistons.
Yeah, and then Michael grew up and it was over.
They got old.
Oh, okay.
They got old, Skip Bayless. Skip, why you do that?
Maybe these guys are getting old. You know,
Man,
maybe
they're
they're
prime.
getting tired. Maybe they're getting bored.
Skip.
Maybe they're getting vulnerable.
They're on pace to win 62 games at the current pace. I just named you. They got 3 games against the Suns. Iguodala was drawing up plays. David West was drawing up plays. They got 3 games against them.
Is
They got
62-72? If you told me they're on pace to win 72, I'd say, wow, that's.
What did the 73-9 get them? Worried about that regular season. What did that get them?
And they keep saying they don't care about wins and they don't care about where they
Exactly.
finish. They don't care about
Exactly.
having the best record.
They don't.
And you know why they don't? Because they're really lucky in one way right now.
What?
The West is pretty easy right now. Because I don't care what you say. If they really know what the Houston Rockets are made of, it's not real stuff. What did we see,
What about
James?
the Spurs?
Well, hey, the Spurs would be better than Golden State right now if they were healthy and Kawhi were happy.
They'd be a little heel spur.
They would
just,
not.
Just
Oh,
a little irritant joy. Like, ooh.
So the
rock on my
little,
shoe.
by the way, the little heel spur when they were healthy and happy last year, they had this same Golden State down with the 4 All-Stars. They had them down 23 in the third quarter, game 1 of the Western Conference Finals at Oakland.
And I watch you 3
Down
games.
23.
I watch you in the regular season have them down by 22 minus Kevin Durant.
That doesn't count. Spurs don't care about the regular season.
Okay.
Yeah, they care about when the money's on the table.
Well, but
And
the
they
money ain't
love
been on
to
the
play
table in
at
a while.
Oakland.
The
And
money.
they would have won that finals.
wouldn't have.
And they would have beaten your.
You crazy.
They would have easily beaten LeBron. They got LeBron's number in the finals.
Well, they must be called the wrong number because you remember what he did to him in 2013.
I don't remember what he did to him. I remember what Ray Allen did.
He had 32 of 10 and 11.
Oh, please. I remember he missed the shot that would have tied the
Scored
game, and I
16
thought
in
it
the
was
fourth
over.
quarter.
Huh?
He scored 16 in the fourth quarter.
I remember
22 to 30.
I remember 3 turnovers, unforced
They were down
errors in the last
Joy,
2
wasn't they
minutes.
down 10 when they started the fourth quarter?
Wow.
Joy, you were there.
Interesting.
Joy and I was at the game. I saw a crowd like, hey, Joy.
I wasn't at the game.
You were at that
I was
one?
watching.
I was watching it too.
I was in the
can't-
parade.
Yeah.
Is all the pressure now on LeBron after the Cavs' big moves? Rob Parker
No.
answers that question next.